Hello everyone, this is Meenakshi Dilip Birari, working as a assistant professor in chemistry at Maratha Vidya Prasarak Samaj, Nasik. We know that manure is any substance produced by animal or plants that is used as fertilizer. The application of manure supplies essential ions to the soil. Manures supply the nutrients and also improve the soil's physical environment, which influences the plant growth. In previous lectures, we have studied the classification of manures and also composition, preparation and uses of farmyard manure, that is FYM. Now, in today's lecture, we will discuss the biogas plant, its composition, preparation and advantages. In India, about 30% of the energy it is consumed by public, it is biological in nature. The biogas is highly flammable and it is very useful as a fuel, and it is used under the name of biogas or gobar gas. Let us see the construction and working of biogas plant. Manures. We know the definition of manures. Manure, it is nothing but any substance produced by animal or plant. It is used as a fertilizer and it supplies the nutrients and improve the physical properties of soil. It is decomposed form of dead plants and animals which is applied to the soil to increase production. Manure, it is nothing but natural form of fertilizer and it is also cost effective. The human as well as animal excreta is also used as a manure. The livestock manure, it is rich in nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So manure, which is highly rich in organic matter and humus, it improves the soil fertility. These are better in the long run and does not cause any pollution. It is valuable and a renewable resource. So biogas, it is also one of the important manure which is a valuable and a renewable resource. It does not cause any pollution. In India, about 30% of the energy consumed by the public is biological in nature. Gobar gas plant, it is based on anaerobic fermentation of organic matter in absence of air. Organic manure produced from gobar gas, it is 43% better than dry cattle dung. The manure can also reduce the pressure on naphtha based fertilizers. Biogas is produced by degradation of biological matter by anaerobic bacteria in absence of free oxygen. Natural gas is also called a biogas, which results after a long time decay of animal and vegetable matter which are buried under the earth, and these are brought about by bacteria in presence of high temperature, high pressure and radioactive rays, etc. So the decaying of animal and plant matter, it occurs under the earth, and after a long time the natural gas, that is a biogas, will be prepared. So biogas is produced by degradation of biological matter by anaerobic bacteria in absence of free O2. Cow dung, when subjected to the action of various kinds of microorganisms in a closed tank under anaerobic condition, it undergoes a type of fermentation. As a result, dung is converted into gobar gas, which is a mixture of methane, CO2 and minute quantities of other gases. So that may be CH4, CO2 and other gases. In addition, a slurry which is rich in combined nitrogen is also obtained, which is used as a manure for the fertility of agricultural land. So the gas which is produced by this process, it is highly flammable and it is very useful as a fuel. and it is used under the name of biogas or gobar gas. So the biogas is produced by degradation of biological matter by anaerobic bacteria in absence of free O2. There are two types of biogas plants in uses for the production of biogas. These are the fixed dome type of biogas plant and the floating gas holder type of biogas plant. So what are the raw materials which are required for the preparation of biogas or gobar gas? Forms of biomass which is listed below. It may be used along with water. These are animal dung, poultry waste, plant waste, that may be husk, grass, weeds, etc. Also human excreta, industrial waste, also it includes sawdust, waste from food processing industries, and domestic waste, that may be vegetable peels, waste food materials. So these are the raw materials required for the preparation of biogas or gobar gas. Cow dung is subjected to the action of microorganisms in closed tank under anaerobic fermentation, which results in the formation of gobar gas. Gobar gas, it is a mixture of gases, that is CH4, CO2 and minute quantities of other gases. In addition, the produced slurry, it is rich in combined nitrogen. It is also used as a manure for the fertility of agricultural land. It is used as a manure to fertile the agricultural land. It is highly flammable and it is also useful as a fuel. So it is used under the name of biogas or gobar gas. So when we observe the biogas generator, it consists of a steel digester dung and set underground by a cement concrete work. The biogas tank, it consists of mixing tank, then digester tank, inlet tank and overflow tank. So the generator, steel generator, digester, set under the ground by a cement concrete work. So this is the figure which shows the biogas generator consisting of steel digester dung and set under the ground by a cement concrete work. So it consists of mixing tank, digester tank, inlet tank and overflow tank. So when we observe the construction of biogas generator, the floating gas holder type of biogas plant having following chambers or sections: mixing tank, digester tank, gas holder and overflow tank. So mixing tank, it is present above the ground level. Digester tank, deep underground well like structure, and it is divided into two chambers by a partition wall in between. So it has two long cement pipes, inlet pipe opening into the inlet chamber for introduction of slurry and outlet pipe opening into the overflow tank for removal of spent slurry. Then the another section, that is gas holder, which is an inverted steel drum resting above the digester. The drum can move up and down, that is float over the digester. The gas holder has an outlet at the top which could be connected to gas stoves, and the another chamber, that is overflow tank, which is present above the ground level. So biogas generator, it consists of mixing tank, digester tank, gas holder and overflow tank. The tank is closed once the receiving the charge of bacteria and cow dung. Generator, it is connected with pipelines with gas holder. The charge, it consists of cow dung and water in the form of a slurry, and fermentation, it is carried out between 35 to 50 degrees Celsius. About 160 liter of gobar gas produced per kilogram of cow dung, and the heating value of the gas is 490 kilocalorie on 160 liter basis. The generated gas is collected in a steel gas holder which is placed on the top of digestion tank. The plant can digest not only the cattle dung but also the cattle urine, human refuse, poultry sweep, etc. So the generator gas is collected in a gas holder which is holding on the top of the tank. If you observe the average composition of biogas, it contains the gases methane, CO2 and N2. So CH4, it is 55%, hydrogen, that is about 7.4%, CO2 35%, N2 nitrogen, that is 2.6%, and water traces. The average gross calorific value, it is about 5300 kilocalories per meter cube. This gas can be carried to distinct places through the pipeline. This gas can be used for heating, lighting and in motive power. The burner and lamps required by it are of different types. It can also be used for running engines and generators by attaching special attachments to the plant. So it requires special burner and lamps. Gas can be used for heating, lighting and in motive powers. The burner which are required for such type of the process, these are different, and these are also used for running engines and generators by attaching the special attachments to the plant. The manure which is obtained from the plant after its decomposition, it is the best and cheap source of replacement of chemical fertilizers. So let us see what are the advantages of biogas plant. Biogas, it is used as a fuel. The average gross calorific value of biogas is about 5300 kilocalorie per meter cube. So biogas having high calorific value. It is also clean fuel. There is no pollution due to use of biogas. Also no residue is produced, no smoke produced due to the use of biogas as a fuel. Biogas, it is a non-polluting type of the fuel, economical, it can be supplied through the pipelines and it burns readily. It also having a convenient ignition temperature so that it burns readily. This gas can be used for heating, lighting and in motive power. The burners and lamps which are required by it are of different types. It can also use for running engines and also for generators, but it requires the special attachments to the plant. So biogas, it can be used as a fuel because it is having high calorific value, it is a clean fuel, there is no residue or no smoke produced, it is non-polluting, also economical, better as compared to other fuels. The biogas can be supplied through the pipelines and it burns readily because it is having a convenient ignition temperature. So these are the advantages of biogas. It can be used as a fuel. So what are the uses of biogas? Biogas, it is used as a domestic fuel. It is also used for street lighting. To generate electricity, it is useful. If compressed, it can replace compressed natural gas for use in vehicles also. So these are the uses of biogas. The manure which is obtained from the plant after the decomposition, it is the best and it is cheap source of replacement of chemical fertilizers. So what are the advantages of biogas plants? It reduces burden on forest and fossil fuels. Also it produces a clean fuel which helps in controlling air pollution. It provides nutrients rich that are nitrogen and phosphorus manure for plants. It also controls water pollution by decomposition of sewage, animal dung and human excreta. So, biogas plants are helpful because it avoids the pollution, it controls water pollution, also air pollution. It reduces the burden on forest and fossil fuels. It provides the nutrient rich manure for plants. Now what are the limitations of biogas plant? So initial cost of installation of the plant, it is higher, and number of cattle owned by an average family of farmers is inadequate to feed a biogas plant. Its production also depends on the availability of cattle dung and gas lamps or burners which are used. It should be within 10 meter of the plant. So these are the limitations of biogas plant. We know that the burner and lamps which are required by it are also of different types. It can also be used for running different engines and generators, but the gas lamps or burners which are used, it should be within 10 meter of the plant, and the initial cost of installation of the biogas plant, it is also higher. Its production, it depends on the availability of cattle dung. So the number of cattle owned by an average family of farmers is inadequate to feed a biogas plant. So production, it depends on the availability of cattle dung, and the burners or the lamps which are used should be within 10 meter from the plant. So these are the limitations of biogas plant. So biogas, it is very useful as a fuel and it is used for heating, lighting and in motive power. The manure which is obtained from the plant after the decomposition, it is the best and cheap source of replacement of the chemical fertilizer. Now we will study the another type of manure, that is related to sewage. Sewage has two portions. Solid portion, it is called sludge and liquid portion is called sewage water. Both sludge and sewage water, it contain plant nutrients. They cannot be used for growing vegetable and fruit plants because they use directly contaminated with bacteria. Average composition of sewage is 6 to 10% nitrogen, 3 to 4% phosphorus and 3.5 to 4% of potassium. So the sewage system of sanitation is the removal of human excreta and other waste with water. In this system, the dilution and dispersion of material in solution take place. So there are the two portions, two components, solid, that is sludge, and liquid, that is sewage water. Both these components are used in increasing the crop production as they contain plant nutrients. It cannot be used for growing vegetables and fruit plants because they are hazardous to the health. They are contaminated with bacteria. Both the components, it can be separated and given fermentation and oxidation treatments to reduce the bacterial contamination and offensive smell, and also it reduces the carbon nitrogen ratio of the solid portion. So average composition of sewage, it is 6 to 10% nitrogen, 3 to 4% of phosphorus and 3 to 4% of K2O. Now the first component, that is sludge, which is nothing but solid component. Solid portion, it is called sludge. Sludge is separated out and treated before being used as manure. For this purpose, it is allowed to stand in a septic tank to relieve it of the heavier portion of the solid matter and to undergo the fermentation and oxidation of organic matter in fresh sewage. As a result, carbon to nitrogen ratio of the sludge is reduced and it is called activated sludge. So whenever the ratio of carbon to nitrogen decreases, it is called the activated sludge. So various types of the sludge are produced by different methods of sewage treatment. So sludge contains 1.5 to 3.5% nitrogen, 0.75 to 4% of phosphorus and 0.3 to 0.6% of potassium. Sludge is separated out and it is treated before it is used as a manure. It is also allowed to stand in a septic tank. In that, heavier portions settle down, undergo fermentation and oxidation. It gives the formation of activated sludge where the carbon to nitrogen ratio of the sludge is reduced. So it contains 1.5 to 3.5% nitrogen, 0.75 to 4% of phosphorus and 0.3 to 0.6% of potassium. Also, it contains micronutrients like boron, manganese, copper, zinc and iron. So they are rich in nitrogen and phosphorus. They are good source of micronutrients such as boron, manganese, copper, zinc and iron. On an average, sewage of Indian cities contain 50 ppm of nitrogen, 15 ppm of phosphorus and 30 ppm of potassium, and sludge contains 1.5 to 3.5% of nitrogen, 0.75 to 4% of phosphorus and 0.3 to 0.6% of potassium. Various types of the sludge are produced by different methods of sewage treatment. First, that is settled sludge. So it is produced by plain sedimentation. Then digested sludge, which is produced due to anaerobic decomposition of sedimented sludge. Activated sludge, produced by rapid aerobic treatment of sewage that results in coagulation and settling of suspended materials. Digested activated sludge and chemically precipitated sludge. So these are the different types of sludge. Various types of sludge, these are produced by the different methods of sewage treatment. Now the second component, that is sewage water. So the liquid portion of sewage is called sewage water. The treated effluent or water left after the removal of sludge is used for irrigation purpose. It is called sewage irrigation. This effluent is rich in nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. The effluent from settling tank with only anaerobic fermentation and then aerobic oxidation produces odorless liquid free from pathogenic bacteria. On aerobic oxidation, it becomes clear, odorless liquid which is rich in nitrates and which are free from pathogenic bacteria. Now, what are the uses of sewage water? So, it can be used for irrigation of field crops only. It cannot be used for growing vegetables like tomatoes, radish or onion, garlic, carrots, etc. It is mixed with river water before being used for field irrigation. It is generally used for raising crops like jawar, maize, sugarcane, etc. Also for cauliflower, potato, beans, etc. So these are the uses of sewage water. Used for irrigation of field crops, cannot be used for vegetables, growing vegetables. It is mixed with river water before being used for field irrigation. Some soaks with high pH develops sewage sickness by its continuous application, and it is generally used for raising crops like oats, jawar, maize, sugarcane, etc. Then the soil fertility can be maintained by direct application of human excreta, which consist of solid portion as a feces and liquid as a urine. So human waste, which is also called night soil, it is also used as a manure. So this soil fertility, it can be maintained by direct application of human excreta. It consists of solid portion and also the liquid portion. In villages, night soil compost is prepared by mixing it with dry soil wool, wood ash or lime. The pits or trenches of about 10 to 12 feet long and 2 to 3 feet wide and 1 feet deep, these are prepared. In these pits, night soil is deposited and which is covered by a layer of earth or kachra. The dry material which is formed, it is called portrait. So in the pits, the night soil is deposited and it is covered over on the top with a layer of earth or kachra. Then the material it is formed in the above trenches after they become dry. So this preparation it is called as a portrait. The mixture of equal proportion of night soil and ash, it produces an odorless material which contains 1.3% nitrogen, 2.8% of H3PO4 phosphoric acid, 4.1% of KOH and 24.2% of calcium carbonate CaCO3. So the mixture of equal proportion of night soil and ash having such type of the composition. Human urine, it contains 1% of nitrogen, 0.1 to 2% of phosphorus and 0.3% of potassium. So it is mixed with night soil and it is used as a manure. The liquid alone, it is also used as a manure. So the preparation of portrait, and it is useful to increase the soil fertility which can be maintained by direct application of human excreta which consist of solid as well as the liquid portion. And the liquid portion, it is richer in nitrogen about 15%, and in big villages that night soil compost is also prepared by mixing it with the dry soil or also with wood ash or lime. Now what are the drawbacks of portrait system or night soil? When night soil starts anaerobic decomposition, various gases like H2S are liberated and which gives the bad smell. So which is one of the drawback related to the night soil. Second one, it leads to fly breeding. Due to anaerobic condition, the nitrogen lost it is also greater. Then due to bad smell, it is difficult to take up field operation with normal class laborers. Hence, special laborers have required to apply it on the soil. The quantity of manure which is obtained from portrait system, it is very small as compared to the bulk of night soil treated. So, to reduce the drawbacks of night soil, the improved method of night soil handling will be considered. So, what are that? Night soil, it should be protected from the soil and soil breeding. It should be stored in such a way that It does not pollute the supply of drinking water. Also, the pathogens or the different worms and eggs, it should be destroyed before the night soil is applied to the land. An attempt should be made to compost the night soil with other refuse in urban areas by town authorities and in rural areas by the farmer himself. So these are the different improved method of night soil handling. So the night soil, it is also used as a manure. In today's lecture, we have studied biogas plant, composition, preparation, advantages of biogas plant, also sewage system and types of sludge, and also night soil, drawbacks and improved methods for the handling of night soil. Thank you.